Alright, so this video is going to be about pre-top surgery. Just a little disclaimer, this is my experience and what I did, what worked for me, but always consult your doctor on some of the choices I made, because maybe they weren't the best choices. So again, I am not a doctor. If you have questions, ask your doctor. See if what I did will work for you with your doctor. Okay. That being said, I was still on my parents' health insurance plan when I got TOP, which is good for me because I could not afford it. And I had Kaiser. And Kaiser, if you're able to do it, is a really good way to go. It was really easy. Everyone was really nice and really open to learning. And I didn't face any major problems with it. That being said, there are still quite a few hoops to jump through, which can be frustrating when cisgender people can get surgeries like that and not have to jump through any hoops and prove anything. But as far as I've heard the horror stories, this was a really good experience, comparatively. I always knew I wanted to have TOP before I even considered taking testosterone. I just thought with like the changes like growing hair, if I didn't have TOP, I thought that would be weird and more dysphoric for me. So I wanted TOP, and then I would see how I felt from there. And so what I did, I emailed my regular doctor saying, this is what I want to do, how do I go about doing it? And she had the Kaiser appointment people call me, and I had to set up an appointment to see their therapist. I had my own, but apparently they have to do it with the Kaiser therapist, even though mine's qualified. That's one thing that annoyed me. But on the same day, I scheduled the therapist appointment and the appointment to see my surgeon, so it was pretty much set from the get-go. But I went to the therapist, and it was nerve-wracking because I was scared that if I said the wrong thing, that I wouldn't qualify and it would be taken away from me, even though I still had the surgeon's appointment. So I was really scared to fail the first test, but they were nice and it was easy. I was a little annoyed at some points, like I don't quite remember, it's been a year and a half, but it kind of seemed like they were pushing that TOP won't be enough, that I'd want to do the other stuff, and that was just annoying to me. But I passed, and a couple days later I saw the surgeon. They were really nice, and it was a very quick appointment. They took a look, said double mastectomy, not the keyhole one, which I was fine with. I actually like the scars. I think they're cool. So I was actually hoping for the regular scar stuff. And at that point, I scheduled my appointment for surgery, and I saw the surgeon in August, and the first opening they had was December, and which was perfect because at the time I taught tennis for kids, and in December we take the month off and January off because it rains a lot, and it's just easier not to schedule and cancel. So that was like exactly when I wanted to have surgery. And I did have the option that if something opened up sooner, I could take it, but it didn't work with my work schedule. So I had it about 4 months after that first appointment with the surgeon. And I believe it's like a week before the actual surgery that the appointment people call me again, and they set up the follow-up appointments when you get your drains out, when they take off, you get these little nipple covers that they have to take off. And so I think that's when they scheduled that. And tips for pre-top. Make sure you have enough money, not for all the appointments. You're going to need money for the appointments leading up to it, you're going to need it for the actual surgery, you're going to need it for the follow-up appointments. So, things to consider. You'll also need to make sure you have enough money to cover you while you're not at work after surgery. I think they recommend at least 2 weeks of not working after top. I was lucky enough, very, very lucky and privileged enough to be able to take a longer break before going back to work. And I had another side job that wasn't physical, so I was able to work there and still cover myself. You will need to have a ride to and from surgery. And then afterwards, I would say you're going to need at least 5 days of someone there with you to take care of you. Because it's going to be very hard to do everything on your own. I took notes, so pardon me. Also, leading up to surgery, they'll give you medications that you'll have to get, like the painkillers. I get nauseous easily, so they also gave me some seasick patches that I picked up beforehand. I was very unlucky in that, to put it euphemistically, what comes at the end of a sentence, I like to call that a grammar problem. I had that happen a few days before surgery, and you're not supposed to take any painkillers that cause you to bleed more easily. I think like ibuprofen does that. Again, ask your doctor. So for the first couple days, I was in a lot of pain. I had really, really painful cramps. And eventually I was able to get through to a nurse or something and be like, can I take something, please? I'm in so much pain. And I think I ended up being able to take Tylenol. Again, ask your doctor. Things to consider. The good part is it put the whole surgery in perspective because I was in so much pain. I was no longer scared of being put under because all I wanted was to escape the pain, and I knew surgery and being put under would get me away from the pain. And then I'd be on heavy painkillers from there on out. And also I would say, this is more for post, but the period cramps were way more painful for me than any pain I felt after surgery. So it gave me good perspective. The night before, they'll give you a special soap to use to wash off your chest and anywhere where they might be working, so I just basically did my whole torso. Leading up to the actual day, be careful not to get sick. I don't know if that would really interfere with anything, but it certainly wouldn't help. Again, check with your doctor. I'm a germaphobe, and so I was hyper germophobic leading up to surgery, and thank God I got through it, because it was in December, flu season, and I managed to not get sick. And always get your flu shot, but especially before surgery to make sure you don't get sick. But again, get your flu shot anyways. A little tip for, this goes into post, but you do it pre. If you like to have underarm hair, I suggest shaving it a bit before surgery. Again, I would ask your doctor when, because I don't know if you nicked yourself, if that would interfere with anything. But post-surgery, you're not allowed to take a shower for a certain amount of time, and the BO gets really bad. So I suggest shaving, or trimming, or doing what you can to prevent the smell of BO as much as you can, because honestly, that was the worst part for me after surgery. And then the night before, you're not allowed to eat food after 12 a.m. and you're not allowed to drink anything after 4 a.m. I think. Again, check with your doctor on the timing. And yeah, that's all I have for pre-top surgery. Hope those were helpful, and the next one will be day of surgery. So see you in the next video.